Okay, so core main event time. This is going to be one of two clips which we're going to be uploading onto YouTube. So we've got to make sure we don't make any sort of mistakes when it comes to this one. I have to say though, what a good fight we have. What an intriguing fight we have. The strawweight title is on the line. Joanna Jędrzejczyk is trying to become champion once again, but to do so, she needs to take on China's first UFC champion, Zhang Weili. Betting odds for this one, as they have been throughout the card, very close. Weili a -150 favourite. Joanna you can get a +120. Now, I've called a lot of big fights on these preview shows. I've been doing this for about nearly 2 years now. This is probably the biggest fight I've had where I'm genuinely struggling to pick a winner. Because I think there's so many strengths that one has which plays into the weaknesses of others. I think there's a lot of questions surrounding preparations for the fight, which we'll go into in a lot more detail. I think it's very, very intriguing.
Yeah, there's so many factors with this fight that we could really talk about, to be honest. I don't know where to start.
Well, we can start by talking about Zhang Weili. Now, you've got to think with Weili, it's 18 months ago that she made her UFC debut. She took on Danielle Taylor at UFC 227. 1 year after that, she's fighting Jessica Andrade for the title. Absolutely dominates Andrade. What was it, 40 seconds?
Yeah, 42 seconds.
42 seconds, the fastest win in strawweight title history. And at that moment, you could argue a star was born, especially in Asia.
Yeah, I feel like all the stars aligned in that fight. It was the perfect time, perfect moment, perfect venue.
Because when it comes to Andrade and Weili, I don't really have any issue with either fighter. I enjoy watching both fight. I think Andrade is so aggressive, can be very entertaining. But I was watching that fight and I was thinking to myself, the UFC wouldn't be too unhappy if Weili won that fight. Because the Chinese market could potentially be huge for them. Because we know when China embraces the sport, they go all out. And obviously having a Chinese world champion, they've got the performance centre there as well, was always going to pay dividends. I think with Weili, the big sort of query around that fight was it was an absolutely fantastic performance, but we still don't know all that much about her because of it.
Yeah, we don't really know how well she'll perform in like a 5-round fight. I feel like this is the perfect fight to make after that performance. I feel like this will be a good starting point to see where she's at.
Because I think as well, the other big concern was, as good as Jessica Andrade is, she is a very one-dimensional fighter. We know that she's going to try and brawl to get into the clinch, get those big slams in there. So, and Weili read that perfectly. She ate up Andrade's front leg with kicks, then avoided the flurries, caught that cute elbow, which just knocked Andrade silly. And from then on, it was knees and elbows throughout. It was a fantastic performance, but it was the perfect performance against that kind of fighter. You're not going to be able to employ that kind of strategy against Joanna, who is completely different.
Yeah, I could see Joanna immediately trying to clinch up when Zhang tries to blitz in like that. I could see that.
I think one of the things that really appeals to me when it comes to Weili, though, is just how much of an all-rounder she is. I think with the strawweight division, as good as it is, you've got a lot of people there who are specialists. So with Jessica Andrade, it's grappling. With Tatiana Suarez, it's wrestling. With Rose and Joanna, it's their footwork, their sort of striking base. You could argue Rose is probably the most well-rounded of those four. But I think when you compare them to Weili, who is got a lot of power in her hands as a striker, and as she showed against Jessica Aguilar, can be vicious on the ground as well.
I feel like in terms of maybe the best striker in this strawweight division, what I've seen so far is probably Rose in the first round of that Andrade fight. She looked amazing. Like that was incredible boxing that she had there. So I'm gonna have to see more from Zhang. Like I don't want to say she is the best boxing, so we'll have to see more from her. But I feel like this will be a great fight to see what her style is like in this type of fight, with Joanna's long, lanky style, we're gonna have to see if Joanna tries to go in with a different approach than she normally does, or if it'll just be regular Joanna like she normally is.
I think as a striker, I think Weili, I would say Weili is the best, is the most powerful technical striker in the division.
Okay.
I think Joanna throws the better punches, but she is quite pillow-fisted at the expense of it. But with that power comes the tendency from Weili to load up on her punches. And I think if you have somebody who is good at countering, she can expose that. Because I have seen times where Weili has been exposed in terms of a chair. There was a fight when she fought, I think it was Cumberland Fighting Championship, she fought a Brazilian girl, got rocked really badly at the end of the first round, came back to win. And even against Danielle Taylor, who's quite a low-level strawweight, Taylor caught her with a good right hand, and again she was wobbling. So you think if you have somebody that can match her power and expose those sort of limitations in a striking defense, there is an opportunity there.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because Joanna, she's more of a volume striker. Like that Watterson fight, it was just a lot of volume and just damage over time that really did Watterson in that fight. So, yeah, we'll have to see.
And what did you personally make of the Watterson performance? Because I did see a lot of people coming out and saying they were a little bit underwhelmed by Joanna, that she was obviously outclassing Watterson and arguably should have been finishing her, but instead was just very content to take an easy decision. Do you think that's maybe a bit harsh from people?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit harsh. I feel like Joanna was just trying to get that win back. You know, she wanted that big dominant win. Like, I feel like she just wanted to test herself throughout the whole 5 rounds, because maybe she thought that she was going to be the next one to get a title, and she wanted to show off that, yeah, I can go 5 rounds again.
And outside of a few back takes, you never really felt that Michelle was going to steal the victory from her.
Yeah.
Of course, we all know the story when it comes to Joanna. She has been at the top of that division now for, we're talking 5 or 6 years now. So we know she's a fantastic Muay Thai striker, great kickboxer. Her pace dictation and her reach have always been fantastic. But it's also a Joanna as well who has started, dare I say, to slow down a bit. Obviously, we saw with the first Rose fight, where I think Rose's pace and Rose's striking really caught her off guard, led to the knockout. But even in the second fight, which was a lot closer, Rose still got the better of her. So you do sort of wonder, are we seeing a fighter who maybe isn't that same sort of elite athlete that she maybe was? Obviously, age and father time does take its toll.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see Joanna go on that insane title run streak that she did before, with the Carolina fight and the Andrade fight and all that. I don't know if we'll see Joanna go on that long streak, but I could see her winning the title again. I could see her putting all the stars back in place and getting the right game plan against the right opponent. I could see it. I just don't know if it's going to be this weekend. I really don't know. I can't call this fight. Such an intriguing fight.
There is a path for Joanna to win this fight, though, in my opinion, because, as mentioned before, I do think that Weili's striking defense isn't the best, so I could see Joanna potentially exploiting those sort of holes. And as we saw against Andrade, and again to an extent against Shevchenko, if she does get taken down, she is very good at getting back to her feet.
Yeah.
Her takedown recovery has always been one of her best things. But again, we sort of mentioned the chinniness of Zhang Weili. Joanna's capable of getting rocked as well, especially early in the fight. She isn't the quickest starter. And we've seen her get rocked against Carolina. Rose obviously knocked her out. Claudia Gadelha dropped her within like the first 10 seconds.
Yeah. She's sort of got that Cerrone approach. Like, it takes her a little bit of time to get going. Not nearly as slow as Cerrone, but it does take her a little bit of time to get going.
I think this is such an intriguing fight for me.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about.
it's hard to predict a winner for it, because I think you've got the fighter who has a lot of form, a lot of momentum, but it's Joanna. It's the strawweight queen. We know how good Joanna can be when she puts it all together. I think if I had to lean towards somebody, I would favour Weili. Because, and this is arguably for reasons outside of the sport, which is, you look at those training videos of Weili, we see a focused, determined athlete who is just going all out, aggressive, because that's her only focus right now, is to be champion and to retain that belt and to hold it for the next 4 or 5 years. Whereas I feel like Joanna's had that moment and she's starting to maybe make preparations for life outside the sport. So she's doing the Instagram thing. She's got herself the implants. She's looking more at sort of the media side of the sport. Outside the sport, I should say. Have we still got the same determined athlete that put herself out there to become champion?
We'll have to see. And there's a little bit of bad blood going into this fight.
There is. I wanted to actually talk about this on the podcast at some point, but the trash talk between the two, especially from Joanna's side, this is one of those things that really disappoints me with Joanna is, I don't think Joanna is a bad person, but she does take the trash talking far too far sometimes. She's done it before, obviously with Rose, and then when she told Claudia to go back to the jungle. Is that mind games from her? Is that her trying to sell a fight?
Yeah. I feel like if you look in the Ultimate Fighter, when she was with Claudia, there was a lot of trash talking that. I feel like she was just hyping that up for the show. But I feel like it's right on the cusp of being too much. I feel like maybe she doesn't know when she gets carried away, maybe. But I don't think she's a bad person at all. I just feel like she likes to put on a show.
And I think she's going to against Zhang Weili. It's a very compelling fight. If I had to put my money where my mouth is, something tells me Weili could finish this early. But the longer the fight goes, the more I favour Joanna.
Yeah, Joanna, she's always good in 5-round fights. The Rose fight, she was arguing that she won the fight. I don't know. I'd have to go back and rewatch it. I don't think it was like a razor close fight, but we'll have to see. But she always is good in 5 rounds. But if it ends early, I'm going with Weili.